Welcome everyone. Welcome to the third lecture of the subject fluid mechanics. In this lecture, I am going to teach you about fluid statics. The fluid statics, we have already introduced this term in the first lecture itself. Fluid statics means it is the study of fluids which are at rest. The fluid will not be in motion in this topic. The fluid will be at rest, and the behavior of such fluids, the study of the behavior of such fluids is known as fluid statics. So we will start with the fluid pressure first of all. See, if the force is uniformly distributed over the area A, then the pressure at any point is P is equal to F upon A. That is our general definition of pressure. Pressure is force upon area. So the SI unit of fluid pressure is Newton per meter square, which are also known as Pascal and represented by PA. The unit conversion is very important from numerical point of view. The conversions are 1 kilopascal is equal to 1000 Newton per meter square, and 1 bar is equal to 100 kilopascal, that is equal to 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. The next important topic is Pascal's law. The Pascal's law states that pressure or intensity of pressure at a point in a static fluid is equal in all directions. It means that you take any point in a fluid, in a static fluid, and at that point, if you measure pressure in any direction, x, y, z, or in any direction, the value of that pressure will remain same. That is Pascal's law. So mathematically we can say that at any point Px is equal to Py is equal to Pz. It means that the above equation shows that the pressure at any point in x, y and z direction is equal. The next topic is hydrostatic law. Very important from numerical point of view. Okay, so the first point, the pressure at any point in a fluid at rest is obtained by hydrostatic law. Okay, if there is fluid and you want to calculate pressure at various points in a fluid, okay, then the pressure at various points can be calculated by using this hydrostatic law. It states that the rate of increase of pressure, underline that word, increase of pressure, okay, rate of increase of pressure in a vertically downward direction must be equal to specific weight of the fluid at that point. Again I will repeat the statement, rate of increase of pressure in a vertically downward direction must be equal to the specific weight of the fluid at that point. Okay, so please see the figure. In the diagram you can see the topmost layer is your free surface of the liquid. Okay, the topmost layer of any fluid is called as free surface. So now there are 4 points A, B, C, D, that is the ABCD fluid element over there, and suppose you want to calculate the pressure at the layer AB, then what you will do, you will measure the height of that fluid point from the free surface, which is Z. Okay, you will go in the vertically downward direction from the free surface, okay, and up to AB the height is capital Z. Okay, then as per the statement of hydrostatic law, at the layer AB we can mathematically express hydrostatic law as P is equal to rho Gz. Okay, that is what our statement is, rate of increase of pressure in vertical downward direction. What it means, as you move downwards from the free surface of the fluid, as you move downwards from the free surface of a fluid, the pressure goes on increasing, the pressure increases of a fluid. Okay, so and that rate of increase of pressure is equal to the specific weight rho g of the fluid. Okay, so mathematically the hydrostatic law is expressed as P is equal to rho Gz. where P is the pressure above atmospheric pressure, P is the pressure, rho is mass density of that fluid, G is acceleration due to gravity, and Z, it is the height of that point from the free surface. Always remember, we will measure height Z from the free surface, from the topmost layer. Okay, remember that point. So now, based on hydrostatic law, we will solve some numericals. Okay, so on the screen you can see the numericals. The first numerical is that the pressure intensity at a point in a fluid is 3.924 Newton per centimeter square. Find the corresponding height of the fluid when the fluid is water, and number 2 when the fluid is oil of specific gravity 0.9. Okay, so here what is given? The value of pressure intensity is given, the value of pressure is given, and what you are supposed to find out? You are supposed to find out the height of a fluid column, height of a fluid column for two different fluid, number 1 for water and number 2 for oil. Okay, so our given data, we will write down the first of all the given data. Pressure intensity small p is equal to 3.924 Newton per centimeter square. So we will convert those units into SI units. So it will be 3.924 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. Then now we are supposed to find out the height of the fluid column from the free surface, and for that we will use the hydrostatic law, which is P is equal to rho g Z. So Z will be equal to, we will rearrange the term from this equation, Z will be equal to P upon rho g. Okay, Z is equal to P upon rho g. Now number 1 we will calculate the height for water, and in second case we will calculate the height for oil. So for water, the density is 1000 kg per meter cube. It's a standard value. Just remember, if in the numerical the density of water is not given, suppose, then directly take the density of water as 1000 kg per meter cube, as it is a standard value. So for water, density rho is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. So the height of water column will be Z is equal to 3.924 into 10 raised to 4, that is our pressure, divided by 1000 into 9.81. So after doing the calculation, you will get the answer as 4 meter of water. So what does it mean? For a pressure of 3.924 Newton per centimeter square, the height of water column, if the fluid is water, the height of water column will be 4 meter. So 4 meter of water column corresponds to 3.924 Newton per centimeter square pressure. Now this was for water. Now we will do the calculation for oil. Now for oil, the specific gravity is given, that is 0.9. So the density of oil will be 0.9 into 1000. Okay, we have already studied about the specific gravity of a fluid, which is nothing but the ratio of mass density of a given fluid divided by mass density of a standard fluid. So the mass density of oil will be 0.9 into 1000. 0.9 is the specific gravity of oil, and 1000 is the density of a standard fluid, density of a water 1000. So density of oil is 900 kg per meter cube. And by using hydrostatic law, Z is equal to P by rho g, we will substitute the value of pressure, we will substitute the value of density of oil and acceleration due to gravity. So after putting all those values, we will get the answer of density of oil as 4.44 meter of oil. Okay, so see the difference. For the same value of pressure, 3.924 Newton per centimeter square, the corresponding height of water column is 4 meter if you are using fluid as a water, but if you are using oil as a fluid, then the corresponding height will be 4.44 meter of oil for the same value of pressure. Next numerical, an oil of specific gravity 0.9 is contained in a vessel. At a point, the height of oil is 40 meter. Find the corresponding height of water at that point. Okay, so in the first vessel, we have filled that vessel with the oil with specific gravity is 0.9. And what is the height of that oil? 40 meter. So the corresponding pressure to that much of height of oil will be, see the equation, P is equal to rho of oil multiplied by G multiplied Z of oil. So it is 900 into 9.81 into 40. Okay, and for what is the question? For the same value of pressure, what will be the corresponding height of water? So it's very simple. Corresponding height of water is equal to pressure divided by density of water into G. So we will substitute the pressure. It is 900 into 9.81 into 40 and divided by density of water, which is 1000. Acceleration due to gravity is 9.81. So the final answer is corresponding height of water will be 36 meter of water. Okay. Now the last numerical. An open tank contains water up to a depth of 2 meter and above it an oil of specific gravity 0.9 for a depth of 1 meter. Find pressure intensity number 1 at the interface of the two liquid and number 2 at the bottom of the tank. So there is a tank which contains two fluid, water and oil. The height of water is 2 meter, the height of oil is 1 meter. And now we are supposed to find out the pressure intensity at two different levels. Number 1, at the interface of the two liquid, means at point A. Please see the diagram. At point A, at that layer we have to calculate the pressure intensity. And number 2, at the bottom of the tank, it means at point B. Please see the bottom of the tank. Okay, so at these two levels A and B, the pressure intensity is to be found out. So given data, height of water Z1 is 2 meter, height of oil Z2 is 1 meter, specific gravity of oil S0 is 0.9, density of water standard value it is ρ1 is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. The density of oil will be 0.9 into 1000, that is 900 kg per meter cube. Okay, P is equal to rho GZ. This is our hydrostatic law. Okay, so now first of all at interface, that is at point A, we will calculate the pressure value. So it will be P is equal to rho 2 into G into 1.0. बरोबर है. See, the density of oil will be 900, acceleration due to gravity is 9.81, and what is the height of oil column? It is 1 meter. So we will substitute all those values and the pressure at point A will be 0.8829 Newton per centimeter square. Now number 2, when we are calculating the pressure at the bottom, then for the bottom, above the bottom there are two fluids, oil and water. Oil is for 1 meter, water is for 2 meter. So the pressure at the bottom will be P is equal to rho 2 into G into Z2 plus rho 1 into G into Z1. We will add the pressure imposed by oil plus pressure imposed by water on the bottom of the tank. We will add those two pressure values. So the final answer for the bottom of the tank is, pressure at the bottom of the tank is 2.8449 Newton per centimeter square. Okay, so that's it for this lecture, which is based on hydrostatic law and fluid statics. Thank you.